Hello everyone, this is Phantom Duels here, and today I'm gonna be doing What If Ichigo Was Betrayed, Part 3, the finale. Yeah, so this is a really short series. I hate to say this, but like I said on my first episode, the person who helped me script this What If told me that he wanted it to be 3 parts, so yeah, 3 parts it is. But for my next Ichigo What If, I won't make it 3 parts. I might as well make it 5 parts at least, maybe. I don't really know. Let's see if you guys want another Ichigo What If. But I'm gonna be giving you guys a new What If that I'm gonna give you guys a heads up on a What If that I'm gonna be making. I'm gonna pause real quick. So you guys could be expecting this What If, and if you're wondering why Boruto is there, you'll find out when that comes out. And yes, this is gonna be a what if Naruto went rogue. This is the only what if that I'm gonna tell you I'm going to make. There's gonna be another one, which will be a kind of interesting one. I think people make it only one or two, but this one I'm gonna be making it my own way. I know it's not being original, but at least it's my own way. So I'm gonna go back to my other one. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, we're gonna continue after I say Ichigo was holding the two Hollow leaders and Byakuya and the Soul Society leader of the Soul Reapers. I can't remember their names that well, but still, at least let's continue. So yeah, in this one, I'm gonna say they in case Ichigo could save one of the people that they had planned to bait him in, they had one more person in their hands. And this was Ichigo's father. Yes, I ain't gonna go make him berserk, and I mean berserk. I'm gonna be making him go beyond, and even a form that is only a fun fan art that I found. That will be the last form Ichigo will ever get in this series that I will make. Maybe I'll use it on my other series of Bleach, but you'll have to wait until I make it. So yeah, Ichigo was holding the two hollow leaders as one of them smiled and said, "You haven't won yet." Coughing, "We have one more person you weren't able to protect." As Ichigo said, "What do you mean?" As Byakuya snapped, and Ichigo's father appeared with someone holding a fire, holding Bankai sword on his father's heart. As Ichigo dropped them all down and said, and he transformed as he said, "If you kill him, you won't be able to survive. I'll end you all." Saying it in a sad tone as they said, "So give up, Ichigo. You have lost this war." Then Ichigo said, "I haven't lost yet," as Ichigo activated all his power at one and went flying towards his dad. So imagine the My Hero Academia part where Izuku went to save Eri. That part, imagine it. But Izuku, instead of Izuku being able to save Eri, it'll be Ichigo not being able to save his father. As Ichigo's father smiled and said the last word a person will ever want their father to say, "I love you, my son," as his father was killed. Ichigo, not losing everything he has ever hoped to not be losing. He has lost his mother. Now he's losing his father. He has lost a friend. But it's over. As Ichigo was blank, there was at least another army of Hollow soldiers and Soul Reaper soldiers were coming to attack Ichigo. As Ichigo was in the middle of in the middle of all of this, he was thinking, "Has this is the end? I won't lose. I won't lose." As he released all of his energy and all around him, as he was switching from form to form. He went from the form that you see behind as in the thumbnail. He went from the holification form. He went from his mass form. He went from the Bankai form. He went through all those formats. Everyone saw a light appear and top. A light appear. Imagine the Ultra Instinct light. That light. As Ichigo, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna show you the form that I mean. As Ichigo transformed into this form, I'm gonna pause. This is the form that I was speaking about. This is gonna be Ichigo's final form. And I know it might be a fan art, but I like this to be Ichigo's final form. Just imagine instead of being orange hair, it's black. Because this is all of his forms combined into one. So yeah. And one thing I want to say, I do not own this picture. This picture was created by someone that I found online in Google. And I like the picture to be his final form. So yeah. This is Ichigo's final form, combined with all of his form into one. And yes, because of combining all of his form into one, his chest got a circle like a hollow, and his hair is black too. I'm gonna pause to go back to my other one. So like I was saying, Ichigo went into the form as red spiritual pressure started to come out of Ichigo. As Ichigo was covered in red spiritual pressure. Everyone saw this and were laughing and said, you just go from form to form, Ichigo Kurosaki. What are you gonna do with that? We have another army of people that know how to use the final form of the Sanpakuto. What are you gonna do with that? As Ichigo wasn't responding. He was just acting like a monster. He started to scream. Imagine when Ichigo first learned how to use his a hollow form. He didn't know how to control it, so that's how he was acting. As Ichigo wasn't responding, he just walked like Ultra Instinct did. He just kept walking. As all the Hollow Soldiers sent an attack at Ichigo. The Soul Reapers sent an attack at Ichigo in their Bankai in their final form, as they only had it 25 minutes. And like I said, his hair is black because of that form. And once he fights a certain someone, his hair will permanently go black. His hair will have his hair will be orange with black tips because of fighting a certain someone. So yeah, Ichigo just dodged all of those bullets, all of those attacks coming straight at him as he kept walking. He walked like a monster, not answering anything. His eyes were no longer human-like. His eyes were fully yellow. Nobody could see if he was human or not. His chest had a hole in the middle, and he was instead of being a normal, his whole body had a black X on his body. The same picture of the fan art that I found. So yeah, that's, then a bunch of people went straight at Ichigo. Then Ichigo just put up his bare fist and started to punch. As when he moved one hand slowly, a pressure knocked everyone out, cutting half of their body out. As people kept going, Ichigo just punched once again. Half of their body was chopped off. Again, half of their body was chopped off. As Ichigo just kept doing that. As he was cutting through the whole army. So this part will be the last part, like I was saying, the finale. So hopefully you guys enjoy this series a lot, because I'll be making another Ichigo What If after the What If Naruto went rogue. It'll be better than my neglected one, but the I had to make part 3 of neglected. Yeah, I do. So yeah, Ichigo kept punching and punching. He didn't even summon his sword. They were all shocked about that. As Ichigo pulled his hand out and made a glowing stick appear in his hand. It was a stick that it was made out of energy. As the red energy of surrounding Ichigo went into his hand, as Ichigo swinged his hand to the right, as the pressure of the swing went straight to the army, cutting half of their military off. As he kept walking and walking. Once he reached where his father's body was at, he grabbed his father's body and started to cry. No one could see his tears, but Ichigo then screamed releasing a massive amount of bloodlust with a lot of spiritual pressure with it too. Then Ichigo looked at the leaders and just spoke. You will all die. Just imagine Ichigo's hollow from the soul from Bleach. That's his tone right there. Then I'm gonna say this. Then a few moments later, Ichigo, instead of walking, he started to run. When he run, it looked like he was skipping through time. No one could touch him. All they saw was their heads being cut off, one by one. Imagine the most gruesome fight you could ever think about. Ichigo was like disappearing through time, cutting everyone's head one by one, leaving all the leaders shocked. As Ichigo reached them and said, "It's time to die." As Ichigo said the final word to them, enjoying not existing. As he swing his hand once, summoning out the final form of his sword. As he swing, cutting through existing and time and space, everything, every timeline, everywhere, everything. They no longer exist. As Ichigo was then summoned to a world. He was inside. He saw a portal open, and Ichigo detransformed. As when he detransformed, he saw that his hair was black and long. His eyes were still the same, yellow with the black background on it. But his hair was black and long. His his body was still on bandages, and he had he was like in his final form, and he was like wondering, what's going on? Why can I detransform? As Ichigo got a message through his head saying, "You used too much pressure, and now this form has stayed with you now." As Ichigo said, "Wait, who's talking to me?" As Ichigo then the person talking to him said, "You will find out soon, my old friend." As Ichigo said, "Kitsuki? No, it can't be him." As Ichigo just summoned out his mask, and he was able to wear it. He was confused, but he just put on his mask and kept walking to the portal. As Ichigo was in a realm, a weird realm, where everything was white. As he was in front of three different gods. God of the God of all hollows, the ultimate weapon, aka, since I don't really know if there's gods in Bleach, because I have seen the series, but still it's really interesting because they never explain what type of gods are they. But I'm gonna say this: he was in front of a mask, a blue mask that had blue markings, and it was all black, and it was sucking him. Then a human appeared, holding a sanpato. Then a human-like hollow appeared and said, "Welcome, Ichigo. You have ended the race, and now we are going to end you." As Ichigo said, "Not even the gods are going to betray me. Let's end it, you stupid ass gods." As Ichigo went into that form once again and started to have a fight with all the three gods. The god that I was saying that looked like a mask wasn't fighting, he was watching Ichigo. As Ichigo notices and just left that god alone, as he kept fighting with the other two. The other two were giving him a hard fight. Ichigo was like, made a red ball of spiritual energy appear in one of his hands, and he threw it at that god. As that god just deflected at that ball with only one swing of his hand. As Ichigo said, "This might be a harder fight than I expected." Then Ichigo jumped up and pulled his head down to where they were and started to create a red ball on his between his horns and just said but goodbye as he hit the hollow like human god and erased the god as Ichigo got a power up. His power was much higher when he summoned on his Sanpakuto. It was instead of being black, it went blue with the white part being red. As Ichigo said, let's try this out. As he went into a fight with the human that had a Sanpakuto. As he went into the same form that Ichigo used as his base. Then they went into a fight, but Ichigo was in his solidification form. Then a few moments later, they kept fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. Then Ichigo kept doing techniques. He slashed the air, getting spiritual pressure towards the god. He then used Final Getsuga Tenshu as an attack. Then he kept fighting as he released pressure on his body just to not make the sword stab him as Ichigo just went back and started to breathe heavily. How am I meant to beat this guy? That's the mask god that was just a mask that was blue, that was black with marks, just like Ichigo's, but instead of being red, it was blue. Then, the mask said, "I have chosen you as my successor. You will have my mask, and once you get my mask, you can end this and show the world that a person who can be betrayed can end you all." Then Ichigo said, "But why should I agree with you?" Then the god said, "You can't disagree with me, Ichigo. You have seen what the world has done to you. And I will give you my powers so you can summon back the people that have died and tell them that if this and show them that you are the one that will lead them." As Ichigo think about it and said, "I will hold your deal. If anything happens to this world, I will come hunting you down." And then the god said, I will see you in the future, Ichigo Kurosaki." As the god gave Ichigo the mask, and Ichigo put it on. As Ichigo started to scream, he screamed so loud. Then the other god that was looking at the mascot said, "Why would you do that? You're just helping him to end the world." Then the god said, "This world has been rude to people that are weak. Now it's time to end this, old friend. He will show you that I wasn't wrong. You and the other god were wrong. So enjoy your living." When Ichigo put on the mask, instead of being the same color as the old one, his hair went a blue color, a darkish blue. His once yellow eyes went a light blue. His whole skin went dark. The lines that were covering the hole on his chest went blue. As Ichigo got so much power on him now that he just screamed and went straight at the god in a speed that the god couldn't even see him. As Ichigo said, "Enjoy hell, you stupid god." As he swiped one time, summoning out another sword in the other hand, which the god couldn't stop. As the god said, "I hope you're right." As the god died, Ichigo now was the god of all realms. He was the god of the Soul Society, the god of the Hollows, and the god of the human world. So he was now the god of existence. When Ichigo said, "Now it's time to bring them all back," as he snapped. Now Ichigo's main form is the one in the background. Is still that one, but his eyes are no longer yellow. They're blue and his hair is dark blue. As when Ichigo snapped, everyone was back to reality. Then Ichigo appeared. Wearing his he had dark wings on his back. His his back had a dark angel wings, as Ichigo said. Humans, hollows, and soul reapers. I am the god of this world now, and you may no longer kill people. If any hollow or human kills people, the world will no longer exist. Do I make myself clear? So, if you will all coexist with each other, and if monsters once come hunting down this world once again, you will be there to protect it. As the leaders of all the races agree with him and said, "Good. Now I will bring everyone back, and I am the god Ichigo Kurosaki." And for you three, looking at the person that killed his friend and his father, as he summoned his friend and his father right next to him, they all came back as Ichigo's father said, "Ichigo, what? Why am I back? How am I back?" Then Ichigo said. Then Ichigo, before saying he could say anything, he hugged his father and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't tell you I was gonna do this, but I had to do it." That's Ichigo's father. "Don't worry, Ichigo. I'm just glad you're alive." As he looked at his friend and said, "And I'm sorry for you too that you had to go through that." Then he hugged them both and said, "Now it's time for you to return. I will be leaving. Tell my little sisters that I'm sorry, and mom will be coming back." As Ichigo snapped again, his mom was right next to his father, as she was proud of Ichigo. Then Ichigo smiled at her and said, "Now it's time for you three to go back home." As he snapped once again, making a portal and putting them through there as they were back at their houses, as Ichigo looked at the three races and said, "Now, I will be watching you all from above. If any of you are planning on doing anything stupid, you guys will make sure you will all defend this world." Got it? Making his eyes go so light that every person in the world could see them. It was like a mirror of a giant mask appearing out of nowhere, showing only two eyes with a dark, ominous aura around him. As Ichigo left, when Yoruichi said, "Ichigo!" then Ichigo looked at her and said, "Well, this is goodbye." As he hugged her and kissed her on the forehead and left. This is going to be the finale of my Bleach What If. Thank you all for watching this. This was Phantom Duos here, and goodbye.